know where the treats at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you landed here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We got you.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfare.
Chief Concerns is presented by BetOnline and Olipop. Marcus Dash here from Chief Concerns, and ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the year. It's football season, and you know what that means? It means it's time to get in on BetOnline. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during the games. Think you know your stuff? Get in on our $200,000 mega contest and pick 5 games against the spread every week for your chance at weekly prizes and a share of $200,000. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our 150 slot games. Head to the website today and get in on the action. Bet online. The game starts here. Come on, baby. Go. Yes! That's a first down. That's a first down. This football season, I'll be putting down normal sodas like Coca-Cola for Olipop. Olipop offers a healthier alternative with its low sugar content and natural ingredients. Olipop is more than just a drink. It's a wellness companion that supports your digestive health. Packed with prebiotics, this fizzy elixir helps promote good bacteria in your gut, leading to improved digestion and overall well-being. So go ahead, click the link in the description and use promo code SODALOVE and get your can of Olipop so you can enjoy the game guilt-free. Go Chiefs. Use the promo code SODALOVE for 15% off now. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Chief Concerns. Tonight is our betting show, baby. We got cash and props with Dunn and Dash. I'm Marcus Dash, and Teja will be joining us shortly. Sorry for coming on a little late, guys. We had a little bit of a Teja's doing something with his dog, and so we are a little bit late tonight. It's some vet issues going on, so Teja will be jumping on here, and we'll be doing some cash and props. But of course, before we get to cash and props, we got to get to our 10 keys to victories. There's no game without the 10 keys to victory from our guy, former Chiefs tight end Jason Dunn. But yeah, before we get into it, I know I keep mentioning it, guys, but really it would help us out a lot. Help spread the word by going to review our podcast, Chief Concerns, on Apple Podcasts. You can also do it on Spotify as well. But yeah, give us 5-star reviews. Tell us what you love about the show. Tell us what you don't like about the show. But yeah, it would definitely help us out a lot. It would get our name and Chief Concerns out there to people who don't watch our show. Maybe they'll hear about us because unlike YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and all those other places where people listen to podcasts, it's very hard for people don't get recommended podcasts a lot, where YouTube will recommend videos. Podcasts is not like that. They only get recommended by the amount of 5-star reviews you got and all the good things you say about it, and that'll bump up podcasts for people to come listen to it. But so yeah, definitely do that. We've already had a few people from our YouTube channel go and review since last week, but definitely go do that. But yeah, so we're going to get into it. JD's going to give us his 10 keys to victory for the Week 10 game against the Denver Broncos. You know, it's time for us to get back at what they stole from us the last time we played them. And yeah, it's going to be a big one. So JD is going to whip it up for us, guys. Our 5 keys on defense, 5 keys on offense. And yeah, so enjoy that. We're about to get into the dungeon with our guy, Jason Dunn. Everybody, enjoy the dungeon.
Good evening, everybody. How y'all doing today? Tell you what, it's Red Friday. Oh my goodness. Tell you what, when I woke up this morning and I just happened to see it's Friday. The Chiefs are going to be playing the Denver Broncos this weekend. And all I could think about, all I could think what I went through this past weekend when I came down to the game and all the great memories, things that I saw. Not only that, but the pride that I had stepping out there on the field, talking to some of the coaches, talking to some of the players. I told you I seen, big boy out there, man, Charles Amenahu, who I think when he comes back, he's making a huge impact on what we do. Okay? But the traditions, walking down that ramp, the people giving the chant, hitting the side, making that noise. Oh, I just feel it, just the energy in me. Took me everything. Y'all see me in my jersey. I was ready to go out there and go play. I was ready to go play. Coach, call me in. Hey, coach, I'm ready. Give me a helmet. I don't need no shoulder pads, nothing else. Just give me a helmet and a mouthpiece. I'm going at it. That's where I'm going at it. But we're going to talk about this weekend right here, the 5 keys to victory on offense and 5 keys to victory on defense. We're going to start with the offense first, okay? That's what we're going to talk about. So, number 1, keys to victory, okay? We're doing deal with these donkeys, okay? We're going to put these jokers to bed. We're going to make sure we go ahead and handle these jokers the way that we know how, the way the Chiefs know how, okay? That's going to be physical football all the way. Number 1, one thing we have to do is we must protect PM15 at all costs. We must protect PM15 at all costs. Now, we understand they got a good defense, okay? We ain't scared of them. We ain't scared of none of that. We know they got a good secondary. They keep talking about it, right? We understand that. We had one of the fathers, Patrick Surtain, okay? His son is over there with the Broncos, all right? So we know what we're dealing with as far as what they have over there. But we protect PM15 at all costs. He will pick them apart. Pick them apart, PM15. Pick them apart. Not seeing, hey, Lamar Jackson, gave him time in the pocket, pick them apart. They didn't know what to do. They're a fast defense. That's what they're looking for. Okay, pass rush, get after the quarterback. PM15 is the best in the business. They talk about Lamar Hunt. PM15 is our guy. Okay, we know who the best in the business is. It's PM15. I don't have to make that stringent. When I stress that, everybody knows. Number two, physical, and dominating. We got to have physical football. What I found out from them, when I watched them on film, they hate getting hit in the mouth. They do not play physical football. They don't like to tackle. They don't like to get hit. They like to olay and get around people all the time. They want to try to dodge and get out of the way. But guess what? Okay? We come straight at you. We're going to take your chin off. We're going to take your mouth off. You ain't going to be able to dodge none of that. That ain't going to work. That ain't going to work. So it's got to be physical, dominant football up front from all line. We got to see it this week, okay? Number three, that walks into number 3 is run right at them. Run right at them. This is going to be a Kareem Hunt game. This is going to be a Kareem Hunt game. I know it is. I can feel it in my bones. Kareem Hunt has been stellar for us since he's gotten here. Absolutely stellar. Okay, he's been showing out. Now it's the time to make sure he really shows out. This is the game for him to do it. This is the game. I seen Pat at the end of the game last what he said, running straight down the hill. That's what we're going to do. Kareem Hunt game is going to be his. Let him eat. I always talk about smorgasbord. He talking about eating. We're going to give it to you. We're going to give it to you, okay? Number four, protect the football. No turnovers. That's what we got to do. Keep saying this. Hey, this right here, it's our bloodline. It's our livelihood right here. It's football, okay? We got to make sure we protect this thing. This thing right here stays in our hands. When we get it, defensively, we're going to take it away. We get on the defensive side, we're going to talk about it. But we got to protect the football, gentlemen. That's what we have to do. Okay? Number 5, hey, score with all included. Score with all included. What does that mean? Take us down here just a little tad. What does that mean? That means number 8 scores. Got 2 last week. Looks great. Keep doing it, D-Hop. You came to change the game for us. Hey, now all of a sudden the NFL knows they done made a mistake. They done made a mistake. They went in and got the guy that we needed, okay, to finish up his 3P. They made a mistake. Number 87, same thing. Throw the ball to him. Let him go ahead and score. Time, Trav. Let's get a couple more, baby. Get a couple more. Number one. Where you at, Worthy? Got to get some more out of you, baby. Hey, you listen to D-Hop, right? D-Hop has been giving you pointers. So it's time to put all those things right there, put them in order. And like you said, number 17. I'm looking for McCole Hardman to actually have a good game this week. That's going to be my guy. McCole Hardman is going to have a good game this week, okay? You heard it here first. You heard it here first. McCole Hardman is going to be the guy, okay? That's what we're looking on offense, okay? Now we're going to turn to the defensive side of the ball, all right? Listen, make no mistake about it. To us, this ain't no regular game. Talking to Marcus, me and Marcus is kind of talking and discussing about rivalries. What's the biggest rivalry that the Chiefs have, right? Well, obviously we know. Okay, when we play the Raiders, we don't like those guys at all. We don't like them at all. But I'll tell you what. Hey, them old donkeys out there in Denver, they right there number 2. They close to what we hate and the disdain we like for the Raiders. We don't like them jokers. We don't like them. I remember when I used to play, man, against the Raiders, man, it seemed like they always, we played up there with them, against them, I always get calls. Home cooking, cheating. That's what they know for. Cheating. Can't stand them donkeys. Guess what? Hey, y'all donkeys, y'all run into the GOAT this week. PN15, that's the GOAT. Y'all run into him. So defensive side of the football. Defensive side. Hey, number 1, we must attack Bo Nix. We must attack him. Now watch this guy. Watched him a little bit in college. Been watching him here in the NFL. He's very talented. He's a very talented quarterback, okay? I'm not taking anything away from him. Matter of fact, every time I watch him, I'm even more impressed. I'm more impressed, okay? But guess what? He likes taking chances. He likes taking chances. But guess what? He ain't never been hit before. Not like we gonna give it to him. Not like we gonna give it to him. And he ain't been an airhead. Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. It's a whole different thing over here now. Whole different thing, Bo Nix. You already feel it. You're going to see it. So we must attack Bo Nix. Don't let him get hot. Okay? Hit him in the mouth. Number 2, we must take away the football. Hey, take it away. Take it away. One thing I know about this is it. Defensively, if you go after Cortland Sutherland and all them young guys out there, they will turn it in. Hey, they will shut it down. All right? That's what we're trying to do. We're going to shut them jokers down. And guess what? They'll give that ball up. You best believe it. They will give that ball up. Bo Nix, he going to throw a couple to you. Once you start getting pressure on him, he start running around happy feet and all those. Hey, he'll give the ball up. We understand that. We got to take the ball away. All right? We need to start seeing a little bit more of this. This week, take the ball away. Okay? Number 3. Woo-wee. Hold on. What? Come on. I'm sitting over here. I forgot. Oh. We ain't just going to take the ball away. We're talking about taking their hearts too. We're talking about taking their hearts too. We're talking about a physical game that they're not used to. They ain't really used to seeing something like that. Okay? We got some hard hitters in the secondary. We got some hard hitters at linebacker. We got some hard hitters right there on the D-line. The thing is, every chance they get to run the football, catch a football, we got to take their hearts out of it. And I'm talking about bone, jarring, taking your heart, pulling your throat out. That's what you got to do. That's what we got to see this weekend. That's exactly what we got to see. So we say take their hearts out. We talking about put them out of the game early. Put them to bed early. Take them out of the spags. Put them out of their misery. That's what we got to do. Take their hearts. Okay? Number four. I seen this with Lamar and them. Hey, they did a great job of stopping them from scoring. We got to be stingy on defense, okay? That's what we're talking about. When we talk about stop them from scoring, anytime you get down there, red zone or on their side of the 50, we got to make sure that we're coming after them with everything, okay? We got to be short-taculars, fundamentally sound, technique-wise, being better than them, okay? That's what we got to do. We got to make sure we bring Bo Nix down. You try to get Williams, get him involved too, see what he can do about it. Hey, but we got to stop them from scoring, pure and simple. I don't care what it takes. I don't care if we need to bring in some red meat, okay? Put it on a big table, sear it up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Just a little bit, okay? We coming for blood. We want to smell it in the water. We want to see it. So we come out there, man, on Sunday, we got to stop them from scoring, okay? They in front of our meal. We got to take it off their table. We talking about eating, baby. That's what we got to do. That's what we got to do. Hey, number 5 thing. Woo, this is the one I love. We must carry on the tradition. Carry on the tradition. What does that mean? Carry on the tradition. That means, you keep a losing team losing. Coach Ramirez used to say it a lot to us. You beat the ones you're supposed to beat. You make sure you beat the ones that's been losing. You keep them losing. We're going to carry on our traditions. When I was walking around, hearing the rant, while I was sitting over here and I watched the Bucks when they came out there and they disrespected us, right there on the logo, on the arrowhead. And I said, we're going to make sure they pay for that. We're going to make sure they pay for that. Something tells me that they're going to try something similar to that. I feel it. They're going to be trying to be disrespectful. Come on, put their feet, rub it on our carpet, almost like how with the Dave Chappelle was sitting there talking about your cats coming in with these nasty cowboy boots. We ain't having it. We ain't having it. So we got to take it on their legs. We got to take it on their chest. We're going to take it to their helmet. We're going to take their whole chin off. That's the way it's got to be this weekend. Okay? So we're going to carry out the tradition. Keep the losing teams losing. That's the way it's got to be. The Donkey's been taking a backseat to us for a long time. For a long time. We're going to keep up with that tradition. We got to let them understand. We're going to teach Bo Nix and them guys when they come in and they game what it's all about. Hey, I seen Peyton. He comes in. I actually like Sean Payton. I do. He used to be my coach in Philadelphia. But guess what? We come on the games, ain't no friends. Ain't nothing friendly about this. This is war. That's what this is. This is war. This is physical. Okay? We talking about taking it to them all the time, every single chance we get. Soon as this whistle's blown, from the first to the last, we're going to make sure we're victorious. I'm sitting there saying we're going to score over 30 points. I've said that. We're going to do it this week. So get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Because we're bringing the house to them. Oh, oh. See you in a minute. Victory.
All right. Well, JD, again, another good one, man. I see everybody in the chat is all like fired up, and it's that's what he does. That's what he does. That's what he does, people. I think him going back to Arrowhead last week has really gotten. I don't know how he could do it, but I think JD's even more juiced up after going to Arrowhead last week and seeing the atmosphere back in him again, being on that field. I think he's got it going on big time now. It's run through his veins. He's got the red, white, he's got the red and yellow run through his veins right now after going to Arrowhead last week. That's what I think. But no, he's 100% right though. It's I do think I was thinking about this too. I think when I was making my bets, I kind of went a little bit. I'm sticking with the same game plan this week, but talking about how soft of a defensive line they are, they're more of a pass rushing kind of defensive line. And what do you do with pass rushing defensive line? You run the hell out of that ball. That's something we have been doing. And I think that Kareem Hunt's going to have a big day this week. Again, another big day. I think they're just going to get it to him. I think why are you laughing?
John Clifford's comment.
JC, damn, when my wife gets home tonight, I'm going to make love like the first time.
Oh, man.
That's good stuff. I think, JD sums it up pretty good there. It was we talked about the other day on the show, Teja. I don't know if you watched, but we talked about playing the Broncos, right? Raiders week has its own thing, the Raiders week. But it's also Broncos week too. But we talked about ranking the rivalries. Obviously, Raiders 1, Broncos 2, Chargers 3. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, last 20 years it feels better to beat the Raiders, which just shows you how much you loathe them because they haven't really been competitive for a long time. So that's why they're number 1. But if you're looking at competition, the Broncos should be number 1. They've been more of a threat in the past 30 years.
Yeah, there was that streak where we couldn't beat them for a while during the Peyton Manning days. We came close plenty, and then we just couldn't beat them during the Peyton Manning days. This is funny. So we were talking about when I think of Broncos, I think back to when JD played, and the first Bronco defensive player that came to mind was Al Wilson. That was for some reason that was the first one that came to mind. What any players that stick out in your mind when you think of the Broncos and during your growing up days and just in general, any players?
No, I don't have guys stick out. I mean, that offense in general, I hated. They were great to have. It's also when I was starting to get into fantasy football too. So Rod Smith, McCaffrey, I had those guys in fantasy and stuff. So yeah, I just remember going against them and loathing that team a lot. I think the first Bronco memory I had growing up. I mean, because truth be told, I don't have a good long-term memory. I just don't. I remember flashes here and there, but I'm not one of those people they be like, oh, I remember that day. It happened yesterday. I don't. Okay. So one of the first things that I do remember vividly about the Broncos was being so upset that Neil Smith left. That was one of the first things I know a lot. Yeah. Atwater. That's a good one. Atwater is probably my oldest Bronco, not Elway related because Elway was a face of the league, but, when Neil Smith left, changed the colors of his little bandage across the nose, that hurt. That was one of the first ones that hurt.
He changed it when he changed the bandage across the nose.
He used to have he would do the bandage over the nose, and he would have red ones and chief colored ones, and then I remember when he went to Denver, he had the Denver colored ones, and everyone was oh man, screw Neil Smith.
John Clifford.
Yeah, see, it hurt, man. And when Neil left, it hurt. That was the first I can't believe he did that in my life.
Crushed. I know jokers is crushed. Oh my God. It's
how could you do that to me?
Yeah. How the cookie crumbles,
That was the first. I have good memory. There you go. See? Yeah. Yeah. That shows you how much of an impact it had, because I remember that going a different bandage color. Screw you, dude. You went out your way to find bandage colors, new team, man. I thought that was a cheap thing.
You were 12 at the time, right?
geez, when Neil Smith signed with the Broncos,
97.
Oh, you had 97.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was well done. Yeah.
JD, was that obviously you weren't a Chiefs fan growing up, right? You come to Kansas City, and then you become. Was that a big deal across the football world when Neil Smith went from Denver to Kansas City?
It was. You kind of, knowing, DT and Neil, how they used to work operating the defense is what, guys would see and know. And so when I started playing in Philly and, those things started happening, Neil was a bad boy, man. He was one of the best, in the league at the time, one of the elite guys. So, we needed to really understand, man, that impact that it made. Somebody said Neil cried. So I think the reason, it meant so much, and Neil stayed in Kansas City. He stays in Kansas City. That's where he lives. That's his home. And so that was just a business deal. And sometimes that's the bad part of business, when a guy gets immersed in the culture and in the city, and everybody's, loving him for what he's done to the team. It does feel like a little bit of like a betrayal, right? But nobody thinks about the team not signing the guy. Okay, nobody thinks about that, and they think sometimes, well, you know what? I'll go ahead and sign for what y'all want me to sign for. And I know it broke Neil's heart, but that's why he's, regarded as one of the best playing Kansas City. That's when he comes out, he's still in the Chiefs. I don't know, Denver, kind of when it had a little stay, but Kansas City's his home. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows it. So
now that I'm thinking of old Broncos, a lot of my really old football memories come from two things. It's going to hit home with a lot of people. It comes from Tecmo Bowl, and it comes from starting lineups. Because if you didn't see a lot of these games, you were only exposed to a lot of other teams and other players through those things. So we had the Bobby Humphrey starting lineup, and I remember he was starting running back on the Tecmo Bowl team. Mark Jackson was the receiver, and then the badass tight end or linebacker Mecklenburg they had at the time. So and then
Mecklenburg,
and then Atwater. Those were like the main dudes that you had starting lineups, and there was the guys you were the player on in Tecmo Bowl. You were always those dudes.
JD, did you have starting lineups, JD?
What do you far like as far as what?
Did you collect them, or did you
boys?
No.
You remember those?
No. So you you said the starting lineups?
They're called starting lineups, yeah.
No, We played a whole lot of Tecmo Bowl though.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that was serious. The Tecmo Bowl, the second one, where you could it was a lot more user friendly. I remember, Marcus, we used to have my two older brothers, or our two older brothers that were huge football fans. We used to have you could be your team for the season. You shared the season, so they'd have the schedule laid out for the week, and you couldn't play your game if it was after someone else's scheduled game. So if I was the Chiefs and if our brother Nicky was the Niners, for instance, he couldn't play his game for the week until I played mine. So it used to be a big thing, play your game, bro. Play your game. Play your game, dude. I can't play mine yet. I can't. I'm busy. No, you gotta play now. I'm gonna simulate it. No. Don't simulate that. Dude. Don't simulate it. And they'd be sorry, man. I was up late last night. I wanted to play. I simulated your game. I'd cry my eyes out, dude.
That right there is betrayal. Simulating the game, dude, and you're not knowing.
Come on now.
Betrayal. Yeah,
it's all right, man. You won, and Steve DeBerg threw for 400 yards. It's awesome, dude. It's fine. I'm I don't give a shit what happened when Steve DeBerg did.
Right. Yeah. That is betrayal right there. Now. Yeah, you do that. So, that was good stuff, man. If people didn't play Tecmo Bowl, and I think when Madden started coming out too, around those lines, because Tecmo Bowl, then when Madden came out, I was like, oh my gosh, look at this, right?
Yeah.
It was an amazing time, man. Now I don't really, I don't play video games. Now I played my grandson actually, so he plays Madden, and He put it on me. That sucker put it on me. And I'm like,
come on.
I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Now look, and it's how it is on the sticks. It's like riding a bike, right? You still got the, you still got the hands.
I don't know, man. Now with the new ones, it doesn't feel like you're playing half the time when you have the new ones.
I know.
I don't feel like control I used to have. Like I used to be able to I used to be able to juke without hitting the juke button. You stop on a dime, dude would fly right by you. You keep going. It was like you didn't even need to press the juke button at some point. Do you remember the game called Prime Time? It was for Sega. It was Prime Time football. It was awesome. I mean, like you could do so many things with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could draft your own team. You could like do all kinds of crazy trades. That was one of the best games, non-technical Madden games I ever played. That was awesome, that game.
Okay, Prime Time. Yeah, Sega. I'm trying.
Joe Montana football, which was not very good.
No, yeah.
And then they had, but Prime Time was like the game was awesome. You could like dive at 20 yards too. You could also like you could also mess with, it was the first game you could mess with guys' ratings too. So if you felt like, he should be better or faster, and you can mess with it, right? So you could like boost someone's speed up to like 99 if you wanted to, just turn the corner and be gone. So yeah. NFL Blitz was awesome too. I love that game.
NFL Blitz. That's when I remember that. I used to load up quarters just to go play at NFL Blitz.
Great game.
An arcade. Do they have arcades anymore? There's like a vintage arcade here.
And
but that's about many. I don't even know where they are.
Not what it used to be. When I was walking by Disney a couple weeks ago, we were at Disney. I was walking by the main strip. They had, because like they have like old fashioned towns there too. There was an arcade. I didn't actually go in to see if it was an actual arcade. It was just called that, and it was something else inside. But I was like, I wonder if that's actually like a real like, arcade to have. That'd be so cool for what I mean. Like, you can't find them anymore.
No.
Yeah, the game I remember that our older brother played a lot in the Sega Genesis was they didn't have real teams. They had I guess they didn't get a license for the NFL teams. So they had like the Oakland or the LA team was black and silver. The Kansas City team was red and yellow. It was a super high impact. You remember that?
Yep, it was a great game. That was the first Blitz where you could like knock someone's head off.
Yeah, well they had the mode where it was fighting and you had to mash the buttons.
Yeah.
To win
that was great. That was an arcade game too, JD. You might remember that. You don't remember that one?
What was it?
Super high impact.
High impact football.
Yeah, I do remember super high. Yeah, I do.
It was like the football version of Arch Rivals. Remember that basketball game from Nintendo? Yeah, that was cool. You could like hit people and
you could hit on punch
that was the first like NBA Jam. You could try to just punch someone. But high impact, you could like kill the ref in that game.
I don't remember that.
Like, over it was. I remember I was playing the arcade. And I was just button mashing, and all of a sudden I got this weird view, and like everyone just rushed the field. And there's a big, and like the ref was just gone after. I was like, "Whoa, dude, what the hell? I just killed the ref."
Arch Rivals, I never heard of that. You guys are throwing so many games that I have no idea what you guys are
talking about. The main dude was to do with a mohawk. He was the main guy in that game.
Oh yeah,
great game.
You know what I missed too, and I was just doing it. Is sound effects from people, and I don't hear people give sound effects anymore. When you was outside playing, now you could because you used to see on Saturdays and different things. Like bam, blip. Like you hear people saying things, you don't really hear that anymore. People give sound effects to like things they did.
Yeah. Berman's the last guy who does that now.
Who?
Berman, Chris Berman.
Oh, yeah, Chris Berman, yeah. I know it.
Obviously Madden was like famous for that too, but yeah, Berman's a whoop.
Yep.
Yeah.
Boom, down, zoom. Whoop. Whoop.
ESPN, the guys who do Sports Center, they don't do that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, but Sports Center is like it's becoming MTV. Like, MTV doesn't play music videos. I feel like Sports Center hardly even does like highlights anymore. It's like MTV and music videos.
No, it's pretty much like it's very like opinionated stuff now.
Yeah, it's all shows and talks. It's like that sucks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when Sports Center and ESPN started to do that, then they had like ESPN News become like the nonstop rolling of just like ongoing recaps and highlights, and highlights. And then that, obviously, that's gone. But like, that's why they made that. Sucks.
JD, so did you hear about the just talking before we get into like stuff? I wanted to get your opinion on this. So last week, I don't know if you saw Joel Embiid and his whole thing with the journalist in the locker room.
I heard about it, but I didn't see it. I didn't see like what all happened, what all transpired.
So journalists wrote an article saying that the Philadelphia 76ers need to give the money back to the fans because Embiid has not played yet, and they need to pay back all their fans because he hasn't come and played any games yet. And within the article, he wrote, it was unnecessary. Like, he wrote, Joel Embiid named his son Arthur after his late brother who passed away during one of his first years in the NBA. And like, he makes a mention about that, and it goes back to like talking about how Embiid hasn't played and is not living up to expectations by not playing games. Unnecessary ad. So Embiid, when he sees him on Saturday after the Sixers game, and sees a guy in the locker room, he goes up to him, grabs him by the grabbed him by the neck, Teja, like from behind, the shoulder, like neck area, like this area.
Yeah, I'd say he pushed him.
Oh, you say he pushed him?
Yeah, there was no. No, he just went up to his face and just got in his face. They got in each other's faces. I heard they were yelling back and forth from what I heard. It's crazy there's no video of this. There's video of people picking their nose at basketball games, but you can't get a video of a 7'2" monster and a journalist yelling at each other in a locker room after a game. That's just weird to me.
Somebody got the video. Somebody has to. There has to be somewhere.
They're like phones now.
Yeah. Yours, give me yours. Here, give it to me. Yeah.
The PR team went to all the reporters who were there in that moment, said, "Don't say anything about this." But of course, you can tell a room full of reporters not to say anything about it.
Man, Philly is it's one of those cities that you're always going to have controversy from the players and obviously the reporters. I mean, it's always has been, and it really has. And so, as far as Embiid going after the guy, you saying something about the family. And it kind of going to like Jason Kelsey also too. Grabbing the dude's phone. But when you start hitting below the belt things that should be left out untouched, then you have to pay the consequences of some of these things that's being said. Look, I'm all for free speech, but you can get a free whooping too. Get your tail whooped. All right. So, sometimes the things you say have consequences. So I know Joe Embiid was like, look, I'd write you the check. I don't care. I understand. Embiid, he want to get his hands around that guy. So he's sitting over there saying, sure, I'd have told that sucker walk outside and see what's up now. But it's just, you have different ones want to get under your skin. And I get, Jason Kelsey, because you have to remain composed all the time. So even if Embiid, don't put your hands on him, but I sure would give him a talking to.
But you told him, I mean, do you know about the dead brother thing and like the
yeah, I said that, yeah.
Okay.
He said that.
There's a line like you can cross before you're like,
hey man, like I said, yeah, right. And like I would get as close to him as possible.
Yeah, maybe put the hand up like that.
Yeah, he'll feel it. I'll be like that, my hand right there in his face like that. Right?
His hands are bigger than his face, just like
Yeah. I'll walk this sucker up against a locker and let him know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I think it's a little healthy fear. Let you understand, man. Hey, I will become your dentist real quick and rearrange all your teeth. Okay. So, how you want to make this? Okay. You ever say anything else about my family? I want you to retract what you said, and I want an apology. And so, if you don't do it, and the next time I see you, it's on site, buddy. It's on site.
Well, yeah, I think he also told him that too, on top of all the other physical stuff. But yeah, the beauty of walking up on somebody and keep kind of pushing them through without touching them is that eventually, naturally, they'll probably put their hand on you. And when they put their hand on you, you can be like, hey, he touched me first.
Oh, yeah.
He touched me first.
Yeah. He opened up the door. Yeah. He opened up the door, man. He physically touched me.
You yell, don't touch me, so everyone can hear, oh man, he must have touched him. He said, don't touch me. And then you touch him, and you go forward with it. That's what you got to do. Invade their space, make them touch you, and then it's a terrible lesson for everybody listening to this. But
listen.
The lesson is don't write stories about a guy's dead brother and then play victim after the fact.
So I'll tell you this story. Okay, kind of
John
similar.
Clifford.
Uh,
That depends, John.
But there was incidents I got involved with, and me and this guy got face to face. This is when I was in Kansas City. So he was really rude to the company we was with. So it was me, a couple of players, and our ladies, and actually my wife. And the guy said something out of the way to her. And so one of the girlfriends was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" Well, I didn't see it. I ran inside real quick. And so, my lady is, she's obviously terrified. So I walked up on this sucker real quick, and we chest to chest, and we're sitting over yelling at each other, right? Yo, you don't know, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, look, I tell you what. So don't you ever speak to that way again. And he kind of not really headbutted me, but I felt like right here on the hair on my chin, I felt it get touched. I felt that, okay? And it was like man, when I snatched this joke up, and that, now mind you, okay, this sucker's about 6'4". He's like 6'4", like 260. So he's about my size, okay?
Okay, wow.
Yeah, I ain't no little dude, you know what I'm saying? You're a big guy, okay? Kind of looked like Drago. Now, he had the whole haircut and all that, you know what I'm saying? And I felt it right on my chin. He was sitting over like talking and doing his head like this, and I felt on my chin. Man, I snatched this joker up so fast. And
meat hooks. Meat hooks.
Oh, meat hooks. I had him up in the air, and I was already turning him. Tage, Marcus, I had picked this joke up and was turning him on the side because all I could think about was I'm about to drop this sucker on his shoulder, between the head and his neck, okay? Like I was going to hurt this dude, for real. And Greg Wesley ran in and grabbed me like, no, Dungeon Dope, caught me. The bartender jumped over the counter to run over to kind of come and grab me too. So I had this joker up, and I was going to power drive it. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. And I turned, and I just slowly, gently put him back down, okay, and walked out. And it was that moment I knew, hey, man, don't you ever say anything to the company I'm with. Don't disrespect the people that's with me. I'm going to protect them all day, especially the women, females. That's going to happen. And the dude he learned a valuable lesson that day. I know a joker sitting there saying, whew, thank God JD put me there. Because I had him up like this on the elevator. He didn't know what was going on. You could see his eyes like, oh, Lord, like this something to put me up. Yeah, I was so mad and angry at that moment. But it goes to the whole thing, just saying, just that little bit that I felt on my chin that his head be like that.
Yeah.
Can open.
Yeah.
Opened up. And so that's what happened. And I opened a whole lot. I was going to pour it on him. So.
Yeah, going back to what you call on reality check, there's just so many people. And at bars, it's even worse, honestly. At bars, it just gets like, because you're dealing with people. Like I had one time, not to go into, let's go on a whole tangent here. I remember I was in this bar in Santa Monica, and it was it had a tiny bathroom. I didn't know how tiny it was. I'd never been there before. So like, it's not like a bunch of people were in there, so it must have been a good-sized bathroom, right? So I try to open it, and it slams forward. It slams hard, right? And the dude goes, get out, right? Someone yells that, like, aggressively. And I was like, man, okay. And this time, so you're seeing, like, older Teja, right? This was, like, Marcus can attest, 7 days in the weight room, creatined up Teja. So I was ready to go, and I was like, I fit the bill at the time. I wasn't JD's size, but I fit the bill, and I'll be your huckleberry, as he said.
Right. Let's do it. Yeah, you like.
So I was like, I took a second because I was furious. I was fuming, and they all come out, and there's like 4 people come out. And it was a tiny. I figured out it was a tiny bathroom, right? That's probably why he did it, but you don't handle it that way.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, which one of you all said that to me? When they're turning the corner, one guy turns around and smiles as he turns the corner. And I was like, I don't know what you're smiling about. It takes me like 30 seconds to piss and I'll be right back out, though. So I come out there. I couldn't even go to the bathroom anymore. I was so mad. So I go out. I look around the place. I find him. He sees me. I go right to him. And again, handle it the right way. I get an inch away from his face. And then his buddy's like, and I was like, why do you think it's okay to talk to people that way? Like right here, up into his face. And his buddy's like, well, man, it's all good. I'm like, nah, it's all good. You had a chance to say something to him in the bathroom, but you didn't. And now you want to stop me from getting my side of it out. You can wait. Your buddy can answer for himself. Why do you think it's okay to talk to people like that at public places? And he's like, just couldn't even bring his head up. His head was down the entire time. He's just like, I'm like, whoa, speak up. What? Why do you think it's okay to do that? I go, you don't know me, dude. I go, it's crazy. I just started lecturing him. I'm like, you yelled that with a door closed in a bathroom in a public bar. I could have been anybody. I could have just lost my job. I could have just lost my girl. I could be insane. I could be wasted. You don't go around saying that to random people. You don't even know who's in front of that door. I could have turned that place into Tasmanian devil in that bathroom, and you would have known the difference. So you don't know what's going on in people's lives, dude. I say all this to him. He just sits there with his head down, taking it the entire time. You know, this guy's go, all right, man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry on his behalf, blah, 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 blah. Man, it just, I walk away, he puts his head up and like looks over to me again. I'm just like, dude, you don't get smiles again. I'm like, man, bars are, I hate going to bars and I hate that stuff, especially rowdy ones like that. Look at that because it's just bad, dude. It's just, you don't know what you can get into.
Yeah,
Be a bad element in there, man. And you know it. You can feel it. You can feel it in the air when things turn, you know. And you're right, man. People are so crazy right now. And I mean, you see it all the time.
It's even worse now. That was like 10, 12 years ago. It's way worse now. Forget it now. People are either looking for a fight or looking for a lawsuit, one or the other. This de-escalator I met one time at the gym said, you ever get into an altercation with someone you know is just begging for it? You'd stick your hands over your heads like that, and you say, I am not trying to fight you, and you keep your hands back there. Because if it ever goes to the court of law, and they found out you basically disarmed yourself by doing this, they're finished. Like, you may as well have been passed out when they hit you at that point. Like, they're done. So, just food for thought. Since I gave
de-escalator, that's a job, a de-escalator.
Yeah, he was like that wasn't his exact position, but like he did like consulting at like companies for like de-escalation. He did like psychology. He was also taught psychology, so he did a bunch of different things. That was one of the things he did, though. Like he would go to companies and teach them how to de-escalate and tell them how to get out of bad situations. And he would say, like, you do that way, no one can ever misconstrue that. They can't say later on, like, no, he was in my face. No, he was doing this. Dude, he had his hands locked behind his head. He wasn't doing anything. So at that point, you are telling the world that you are not doing, like, you are out of it. Like, you're good luck, right? So if they hit you at that point, they're screwed, he said. You just throw the book at them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Remember the old guys who say, man, I'm registered as a lethal weapon in 45 states. So
yes,
you want to, if you want to do this, then it's on you. Just let you know. Forewarn you.
That happened to a guy I knew in Virginia. This old guy from his high school wanted to fight him. And he told him, he's like, look, man, hey, I'm warning you. I'm registered. I know 3 different fighting styles. Just telling you, don't do this. This is stupid. Mm-hmm. I'm going to hurt you if you try to hit me. And the guy, he had one goal in mind, right? He warned him many times. Finally, the dude tried to throw a drunk punch, and he said, I snapped his nose, dude. It was just one quick, like we went to court. He sued me. We went to court over it. And I said, I warned him. I said this, I said that. I've talked to my lawyers about this already. They told me to always say this. The judge said, did he tell you this? And the idiot didn't know that this was going to incriminate him. He's like, did he tell you? Did he say all this? He's like, yeah, he told me that before he hit me. He's like, well, then you're an idiot, sir. Like, what are you doing in my courtroom wasting my time? Pretty much.
You're like, yeah, case closed. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
He goes, why would you want to fight someone who tells you that kind of thing before you get involved with them?
Yeah.
That's on you at that point.
Surprised the guy admitted it, though.
I don't think he thought it was going to go that way. He probably thought like it was going to go in his favor by him saying that. Obviously, the guy wasn't very smart. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chad's right, though. Liquid courage lives in bars. That's, yeah. It's one of those things, yeah.
It is in the bar. That's true. It lives there. No question. Man.
Shout out to G-Pick for the contribution to the channel. Really appreciate the love, brother.
Appreciate you, G-Pick. See a lot of folks in here tonight, man. John Clifford, Don Peterson, G-Pick, Sparkle Sports Car, Witchy Hall. It's always good seeing y'all. Mike Brennan's here. Don Peterson. I got a shout out to my people. Neff, good seeing you. Good talking to you. Maximo 0101. So, yeah, it's good talk, man. Good talk. Delius Aguero, Gary Holland. So, yeah, man. No, it's a good conversation, man. Good conversation.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know we got way off tangent.
I know it.
Out of football, but it's like the betting show. We have a little more, a little longer than leash.
Yeah.
Look, I tell you what, man. After I get finished doing my little segment, man, I'm ready to run out there like I'm running out on.
Oh yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. You're ready to declare yourself a weapon after that.
Yeah.
John Clifford said that's why we play football fair and aggressive. 100%.
Yeah, sure.
Fair, unless you're the Cincinnati Bengals going against the Baltimore Ravens last night. I think I think a host big time last night. JD, what are your thoughts on that? There's some questionable calls there, and if that was the Chiefs game, where the Ravens were last night, we would have been dominated on social media last night. But instead, it's the Ravens, so no one really cares. They're not going to say anything about the refs cheating for them.
No, look, it's always there's going to be calls missed. There'll be some made. Especially at that time in the game. Should they have called it? Yeah, sure. Within the rules of the game. But hey, that's how it works sometimes. It's just how it works. My thing is, we talked about this. We talked about going for two. We had this whole thing going about like what a team should do. Well, and I think there's a lot that goes into it. We understand there's a lot to go into that decision to go for the win. Right? Or at least Lamar then would have had time on the clock. So that's another thing, too. So it's like how we go for the win. Well, he hadn't quite won anything, right? You got Justin Tucker, who could kick the ball from 60-something yards. You just need to get in striking distance to kick a field goal. So for me, and I think they said somewhere like 32% now is where the 2-point conversions are this year. So it's a little lower. But I said, man, it's all congested down there. If you've been playing good defense, and if you're at home, that at least sways me to say, hey, you're on your home turf. You could go ahead and do it, right? Because you got a lot more, the crowds behind you, your team. You got a little bit more of the moxie there, okay, to try it. When you're on, away, there's a lot to, calculate in that because there is some home cooking. There is some. And I think that might have been where the call might have been. They're not necessarily watching that, right? And somebody's, well, how do you call that? Well, you don't ask that question. How do you call it? For us, they were sitting there saying it to us. Well, how do you call that? Well, you got to call it, right? Now, all of a sudden, Cincinnati don't want to, they want to call for them when it pertains to them, but all of a sudden, don't call it for us when it pertains to us. And then the Super Bowl. So all these conversations they have, man, and talk. But, yeah, man, you're going to miss calls like it toward the end of the game. It ain't going to be perfect. It ain't going to be perfect. But, oh, well. So,
I got to ask, JD. So you saw the Bucs game up close.
Yep.
Are you a believer?
Believer in?
Do you put on your oven mitts before you bake?
I am more of a.
You going to church once a month, not every week.
Not this. He's not yeah. Listen, look, bake. When I watched him, and he had it. Oh, well, here's the thing, though. If the field wasn't as wet and as muddy and whatnot, we'd had several sacks against Baker, and we were just kind of slipping off of him. I mean, he probably got at it about 3 or 4 sacks.
Got the butter on him, man. He's bacon.
Yeah. That sucker was scrambling around, running for his life. I'm like, get him. I just, what, Baker is he's a decent quarterback. Where would you put him? Is he a top 10 quarterback in the league?
When he's got Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, he is.
All right, hold on. Is he a top 10 or is he playing like one right now, though?
Is he a top 10 quarterback in the league?
No, I mean, that's a tough question. In 2024, he is.
So this year, you're saying currently he is.
Look, I mean, I would take in a draft for a quarterback, I would take Stroud over him. But if you're just going by this year, Stroud looks like shit, and Baker looks way better than him. What can I say? And they both had injuries. They both have their injury problems on their team, so I can't blame it on injuries, right? So
you're saying that Baker Mayfield is a better quarterback than Stroud?
No, I'm saying this year he is. I'm saying if I was drafting for the future right now, I mean, I would take Stroud because the ceiling, I don't know where Stroud's ceiling is, but I pretty much know where Baker's is, right? I mean, more or less. I think we know his ceiling. That's part of the problem. We've seen his lows and we've seen his highs, right?
Yeah. So based off the reason,
Teja's not a Baker guy, by the way.
No,
I'm really surprised he's saying this right now.
Well, I'm not gonna be in denial about the season he's having. And look, again, we're a good defense. He probably had the best game of quarterbacks had against us all season. So I mean, like, he has to be good.
Oh yeah,
right?
and he did it without his guys.
Yeah. Well, like I said, everything is in context. When you're sitting over, you throwing routes. You had to get out of your break. It's a little tough for DBs, to cover those routes. But he put some balls on the guys. He put some dimes, man. So he had a good game. He had a good game.
He did. And I think he had one pass that probably should have been picked off. But that was it. It's not like he had a bunch that we just didn't get to or we couldn't catch. Like, I think he had one that was like a bad throw. I think it was the Reed one, right? The Reed should have had that ball.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was pretty much it, though, for the most part. I don't remember any other ones that that really come to mind that were like bad. That's a bad throw, dude. Yeah, look, he's playing with his means. He's not forcing. He's not pressing it. No, I'm not going to lie about him when he's playing bad. I'm not going to lie about him when he's playing good. Same thing with Marcus in the past. I'm not going to lie and say he's the guy when he's not playing like the guy either. Like that's. I'll be honest, both ways about it.
Well, I'm saying talent.
He's been way more consistent than Dak, for sure. He's been more consistent than most. It's a bad year for quarterbacks, dude. I mean, this year he's top 10. He is top 10.
So I had to explore that bit. Top 10. I mean, after Mike Evans and Godwin's out, then you had to look and see, like, is he really top 10? His numbers, does his number bear that out? After those guys are not there.
The last 2 games without them his numbers are pretty good. The last 2 games without them.
Okay.
There's only 2 games.
What are they? I know Mark's knows this.
Well, he had 2. Okay, so last week against the Chiefs, 200 yards, 2 picks, no interceptions. Last week against the Falcons, or the week before that against the Falcons, 330, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks, 0-2 without the 2 guys also. So you got to take the win-loss in there as well.
And hold on a second. Even with those guys, I watched a lot of Bucs games because I have stock. Evans hasn't looked great this year. He's been pretty gimpy all season. Even before he came out, he played with that problem. That's why he got seriously hurt in that game, because he was playing on that for like 2 weeks. And even before that, he was a little gimpy, a little limpy when he walked every time he comes up the field. So it's not like he was playing with the full deck even when Evans was there.
Oh my guys. Hold on. Wait. So Mike Evans still in his gimpiness is better than the guys he got out there right now. I mean, we had to say that. Like Mike Evans.
No. Yes.
Come on now.
Yeah. 70% of Evans is better than McMillan and Trey Parker. Yes. I agree with that. But I'm also not going to say like, well, he's got Evans and Godwin, and anyone can do that. Because, like, we do see guys with decent rosters, good rosters, not do those things, right? Like, I'm sorry, Deshaun Watson doesn't have a bad cast of characters on his team.
He didn't.
Okay. What do you mean? Judy, Elijah Moore, and Njoku? That's not a bad cast of like weapons. Hey, it's been better than ours most season. What do you mean?
Jerry Judy is up and down. We know that. Okay. Njoku he's same way. He's the same guy to me. Like he's a physically opposing guy, but I don't see he's dominant. I don't see he's not a consistent guy at tight end for me.
Is he not consistent, or is it because he doesn't have a consistent thrower? Is that
no, he's not consistent. He's not consistent. Sometimes he don't get open.
With Flacco, he was pretty consistent last year.
Yeah, well, Flacco. So, and you look what Flacco does in Indiana.
Cooper, by the way, for 6 weeks.
Yeah. So,
Cooper, Judy, Elijah Moore, and Njoku is a pretty good cast of weapons on your team. It's not elite, but it's above average. It's good.
I guess.
It's better than the guys Baker has now, right? Without Godwin and Evans.
My point is to say, like, guys cannot look great even when they have great weapons. Stroud, even when he had Nico Collins this year, and Tank Dell, and Dalton Schultz, wasn't killing it on a week-to-week basis. And
that's a little different because it's his sophomore season. It's a little different. They have tape on him.
I'm not selling on him. That's why I would take him higher than Baker if we were starting a draft right now. But I'm just saying, like, this season, right? Like I'm saying, like this year, there's a reason why I put Baker ahead of some of these guys. That's all.
JD Baker or Derek Carr?
Oh, you want to start this game?
Shoot, I'm going Derek Carr all day.
Wow.
What?
Yep.
Oh, man.
Talent-wise, I'm sorry.
Seeing him in person, you're not a believer. Then you're not going to church for Baker. Then I know that. Come on,
no, I'm not. No. Baker's standing out the door like, man, I'll pray for you. I'll give you a couple.
Crispy bacon is what he is. He unedible bacon.
Yeah, I'm not. Look, I'm not buying. I'm not buying Baker, man.
Okay, hold on then. Let me think of another one then, because you're saying no to Carr. Let me think of, dude. The next level down from Carr is like I don't even know what that is anymore. Like, what's the next level down from that? Like, friggin' like.
If you look at what they were doing, New Orleans was doing at the very first of the season, and then all of a sudden,
like 3 games.
I mean, well, shoot, we look at Baker. It's not like he had some games that he was blowing it up. There was times that it was, a little tepid. I'm not saying that he was fully consistent when like we seen, right? Godwin and Evans go out, changes things. All of a sudden, that sucker goes back to looking like
5 TDs in 2 weeks.
Huh?
What, 5 TDs in 2 weeks? It's not that bad.
No, it's not bad, but he had how many interceptions he had too. He had interceptions as well, right? You said he had 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions against
5 and 2 is the ratio. 5 and 2.
Yeah, but Carr's out here getting slaughtered by his ex-receivers and his current receiver's brother. So I mean, his own like teammates and teammates' family don't support him. So like, it's hard for me to be backing him Carr either, though. I don't know.
Yeah, what do you think about that, JD? When a receiver is like what Michael Thomas is saying about him, and then what Olave's brother is saying about him?
I don't know. What are they saying? I have no idea. I don't know anything about this conversation.
Michael Thomas, during the game when Olave got hurt, Michael Thomas went on Twitter saying pretty much that this kind of balls he kind of throws to you, like the kind of the killer type balls where you go up for a ball and you get nailed, is what he does. Pretty much just dog him as a totality as a quarterback. And then Olave's brother quote tweeted it and said this, like pretty much like highlighting what Michael Thomas was saying about Derek Carr.
Olave does have like 5 concussions in like 2 years, man.
Who's that?
I said Olave does have like 5 concussions in like 2 years. Carr's getting that by a guy killed, man.
Yeah, man. Well, hey, I look at it like this. Okay, I think Derek Carr is a very talented quarterback. You look at his numbers; he's been slinging the ball around. He's got decent receivers down there. Olave, same thing. He, they would put some numbers up. I'm looking at Stroud too. The same thing, man. You start looking at his numbers, dude. I would say Stroud at a stretch definitely was better than Baker. For what he had, and you had Nico Collins that was out. You had Diggs that got hurt. You only got Tank Dell. You ain't really got nobody else down there to throw the ball to. So, and also it depends on the line that you have. But without a doubt, if I'm going into the game and I don't care what quarterback you have. You got Mike Evans, Godwin, okay, that you're throwing the ball to, and you got those 2 running backs that you could just hand the ball off to, helps you out tremendously. We know that. Tremendously.
Daniel Jones or Baker?
Daniel Jones is out of here, baby.
Okay. Hey, I'm trying to gauge where you're at here. I mean, when you said no to Carr, I was like, okay, I need to go. I need to dig down deep for this one.
Well, okay, I'm just saying my opinion. Now, I'm a Derek Carr fan. I am. I'm biased. I like Derek Carr. Okay, I think he just got shafted a little bit when he's out there in Oakland. I didn't like how they did him. So I got a little feel for that guy. Okay, it wasn't like he wasn't really put up. Baker got kicked out of Cleveland. Get out of here. He was like, man, listen, beat it. This is supposed to be your house and all these little commercials and stuff like that. See you later. They locked the door on him and said, don't return back to the stadium.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And look, I think Baker has a lot of tenacity to him. Okay. I love his heart. He's a competitor. I think he's just an okay quarterback. I think he is. And when you see these guys, same thing like Brock Purdy. You think is Baker better than Brock Purdy?
You put Baker with that team that Brock Purdy has.
Yeah, you're talking weapons. That team is a super team.
Those weapons are better than the Tampa Bay weapons, the totality from top to bottom.
Well, I mean, now he's got Ricky Pearsall to throw the ball to, and so you're thinking now, who else he's really got on the outside?
I mean, he's got Kittle, Debo, Pearsall, Juwan Jennings, who kills us every time he plays us.
Yeah.
That's still pretty good.
I mean, it's good. Yeah, it's good.
Good.
So is he? So
go back to O-line, and they have the best O-line in the league. That's huge, right?
Yeah, but I think it's why he's an efficient quarterback is because of O-line. I think Tampa Bay has a pretty decent O-line too. They protect Baker a lot.
They're good O-line.
So yeah. So I'm just, for me, in totality, if I'm just going off talent-wise, what a guy gives, engages, Baker's not a top 10 quarterback to me.
And this is all without money involved. So if I start throwing in money, I think you would start picking Baker. If I said Dak for $50 million or Baker for $30 million, what are you doing there?
Dak
for 20 extra million, Jason?
Wow.
Come on now.
That's
man.
Look, man, I think Dak is the same thing. Who are they surrounding Dak with? You don't have a running game. You don't have a running game. The defense ain't doing anything for you. You got CeeDee Lamb. Have you watched the breakdown of Troy Aikman talking about the wide receivers?
Of course Aikman would do that.
No. I'm talking about Aikman. Yeah, listen, Aikman talks about when you watch these guys running routes, it is without a doubt some of the saddest things you've seen in route running. And Aikman said it best. And I'm gonna go with a Hall of Fame quarterback, 3-time, that was sitting there saying, I think we've been a little unfair to Dak. Because, only one that's running the route hard is Ferguson. Other than that, CeeDee Lamb, he gets open every once in a while, force the ball to him. You're going to throw to Tolbert and who else. I mean, these guys, they ain't getting open. They ain't getting open. So I'm a big Dak fan. Is he $20 million more? No, I don't think to be honest with you, I don't think there's a whole lot of quarterbacks in the NFL worth $50 million. I'm just going to be honest with you. Okay? So that's going to be my argument in itself. Does Baker deserve 30? Is he a $30 million quarterback? Hells no. Hells no. Dude, you better take his pork sandwich and a couple of soda pop and be okay. How about that?
But if I start doing that over and over with guys, you'll pick Baker above a bunch of those guys, though, for the money. You will.
Jay's the new Skip.
It's our new Skip.
I mean, if I do that for a lot of these guys, you're doing that. Jared Goff for $50 million or Baker for 30. You're taking Baker.
He's a Goff fan.
But not for 20 more million, Marcus. No way.
No. I don't agree. I love Baker over Goff.
You're talking about being able to afford like a.
I'm taking the money. Look, let's take the money out. Baby. Listen, like I said, we take the money out of it. Okay. I don't think any of these guys are worth $50 million. They gave Daniel Jones all that money. He's not worth that money.
I know. I hear you on that,
Yeah.
but I mean,
Yeah.
they get the money. They get it.
I hear you. So yeah, Baker Mayfield for $30 million is somebody quarterback's better than $20 million.
But some of those guys you will say yes to. That's my point. Like Burrow for $20 more million, you'll say yes to, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Burrow.
See, some of them are justifiable, but most of them aren't. I mean, here's a good one. I think you'll say yes to this though. Jordan Love for $20 more million.
For 20 more million? Jordan Love?
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's a good one.
I think Jordan Love's another. He's a $30 million guy. He's a 30 guy.
Hey, that's good. I like that take.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence.
Tua, Goff, Watson. I mean, a lot of these guys, they're not worth 20 million more. They're just not. It's crazy.
Do I think Jared Goff's better than Baker Mayfield? Yes, I do.
Yeah, 0-0 flat.
Right. Okay. Yeah, all things being equal, yeah, absolutely is a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield. Do I think that?
Here's a good one for you. I think I know what you're going to say. Geno.
Very similar. They're very, very similar careers too.
Yes, they are very similar careers.
Yeah, they are. They
had more hype at its peak.
Yeah, they're tit for tat. I like Geno, but Geno's got a big cast up there. So I think him and Geno's right there. I think Geno's a little bit better. Okay. He's got the experience more. He knows how to, and they both good. Like Cam said, they game managers. They know how to game. They're game managers. They know how to manage the game. So
okay. That's a fair one.
Mm-hmm. But top 10? You said he's top 10?
This
I'm just saying
is
based off talent-wise, man.
I mean, he's like top 3 in like every category. I mean, he's got to be top 10, right?
Number 2 fantasy quarterback behind Lamar Jackson this year.
I mean, come on.
I wonder how many jokers they'll drop that sucker after the Evans and them went out. I bet he's also the one that they dropped the most too. Oh, Evans got one more. Oh, drop him. He's down.
You know what's funny about this whole conversation? Baker is in an average cap per year. Average, he is between Geno and your very own Derek Carr.
Wow. So that's where he knows his value. His agent definitely knows where his value is.
Yeah.
That's crazy, right?
Oh, yeah. You got to go for it.
But if you look the next guy up and the next guy down, it goes from Geno down to Minshew, and then it goes from Carr up to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. I would put Baker in Minshew's category. Him and Minshew's about to say how the guy look at Marcus.
How about this? This season, Aaron Rodgers or Baker?
Oh, he's definitely going to go Baker, 100%.
I don't know. Yeah, see?
Rodgers looks really bad this year. I know legacy-wise, name-wise, but Rodgers looks awful.
Yeah, it's hard to ignore all that stuff. You can't, it's in a vacuum. It's hard to do that.
Yeah. I mean, the crazy part is when you sit there and you watch Aaron Rodgers, like he just doesn't have, what he used to have. He doesn't. And he's got a hell of a cast.
As far as talent or talent around him? What do you mean?
Well, no, the cat like his talent. He just don't have the ball like he used to. He can't make those off the back, foot throws like he used to. So they pick say JD clown. Why am I clowning, man? Look, I'm calling it like I see it, G-Pick. You know what I mean? I call it like I see it, brother. And so
we need to do another show on another day of the week. It's just going to be the Baker meter. We'll call it temperature check and have like a baker like with an oven.
JD open up the oven.
We literally like move up the rankings of where Baker falls in the rankings of quarterbacks for this season. See where he ends up.
I kind of don't know where to go with that because I thought JD was going to get a lot of respect for Baker after he dominated the Eagles in the playoff game last year. And then when we texted him about this, he played an all right game. He played an all right game. He dominated that game.
Yeah. Saw him live and in person, baking it up.
Yeah, it would have been different if they won that game, I think. I think JD would have a little bit different take on that.
I mean, his stats are his stats. He didn't get the ball back in overtime.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, that last drive before regulation was superb, I would say.
He had the best game I've seen from a quarterback probably this season, throwing to running backs and tight ends. Oh, that's not. You know what? Never mind, because everyone does that against us. Ding, ding.
Yeah. Right. True. So,
All right, so before we get to the bets, I want to shout out John Clifford. Guys, been great tonight. Real clubhouse story feel. Get to know your teammate.
appreciate it.
And Daniel Akers, appreciate the contributions, guys. Really appreciate all the love, everybody.
Thank you all. I know we overrun them out, but it's football, man. We had to. I just, and look, I'm giving Baker his flowers. I think he wasn't impressive. He was impressive last week.
Weeds? What do you give? What do you give?
Yeah, man. He was down in the weeds, but I wouldn't even pick him out.
Yeah, you're not giving him. You're giving him old flowers at Safeway, man. You're not giving him real flowers.
Yeah, withered flowers, like the Kroger brand. Did you get this?
Exactly. Old Kroger ones are about that kind of smell they're about to throw out.
Yeah. Here you go.
All right, so now we're gonna get to the bets for the week. Looking over the bets last week, I beat Teja. I was surprised. I thought I was gonna win that one. I mean, neither of us won, but I three out of 5. Teja went 2 out of 5.
No. Irving had 24.
24 what?
Rushing yards, unless they took 2 away from him.
Are you sure? I looked at it earlier when I was making the graphics.
When I was watching the game, he had 24 again, unless they took away yards from him.
Rushing yards. Oh yeah, he did. Okay, I think I was looking at receiving yards, and he did not have that. Okay, never mind.
This guy cooking the books over here, huh?
Cooking
the books over here.
Okay, so Teja went 3 of 5. My bad on that. 3 of 5, 3 of 5. But yeah, I mean, I still like what I have the whole the under over thing. Yeah, I mean, if the game didn't go to overtime, probably would have hit that. But again, the Chiefs wouldn't have had over 26.5 if we not go to overtime. So,
I would have hit that Gray bet on that one where Gray blocked and leaked out, and then Mahomes couldn't throw it over the D end. Gray would have had easy 13.
Yeah.
Easy 13. That was it. That was my only shot. That was it on that one. I can't believe White. If they had the ball one more time, White probably would have got a reception. But I like it the way it happened, so I'm good with that.
JD, anything stand out about the about the game with our bets and anything that kind of tied to the game on Monday night that stood out to you?
Listen, look, y'all talk about how good Baker was. I do believe defensively, there were some things that we gave up that we shouldn't have. They shouldn't have scored that many points on us. They shouldn't have. And like I said before, did a little bit of escape, getting out of some of the sacks that we should have had on him, get some first downs, and then of course, like you said, exploit into the tight end, man. Man, that's such an issue. So I was just sitting there just wondering why defensively our DBs, why they was having such a hard time. And I realized the routes that they were running that Baker was throwing were great timing routes. Like, it's hard for anybody, a DB, especially, when it's wet, to put your foot in the ground and come out of your break, especially timing routes. And that's why you throw them, right? I mean, I would. But that's the only thing that was kind of glaring to me. I'm like, dang, God, like, these suckers keep standing, keep lingering around. We letting them. And so that was pretty much kind of where I was at. But other than that, man, nothing really else stood out. Stopping the run, like you said, Irvin didn't really do too much. Man, when I'm telling you, D-Hop, wow.
Yeah, I mean, I think I did say they didn't have him listed at the time where we took those bets. I would have taken at that time. I would have taken one. I took one eventually when they actually opened it up. But
what'd you take? What was it?
I think I just took like four or five catches.
Okay, man.
I mean, which wasn't even that. Oh, I took 4 or 5 catches. And I had him scoring touchdown.
Okay.
Do you remember when we were doing the show though? I said if Marcus wants 3 TDs, I said take either one with Kelsey scoring 2 or Diop scoring 2, because most likely if he throws 3, one of those guys is scoring multiple ones.
Right.
Yeah, I had one with Mahomes 2, Kelsey 1, and D-Hop 1. And Kelsey, man, that one last one, he should have had that, man. When he's got one guy, man, you got to truck that dude in the end zone, Kelsey.
Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah.
He should have scored that. That's twice this year he's been stuffed after it looks like he's got an open. He gets stuffed at the one.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even more than a couple times, actually. But
Look at a leg drive, man. That's what it takes. A leg drive.
Tired, man. Doing too many tours. Too many tour dates.
Everybody thought he was washed up, saying all those different things, and you see what Travis was giving him. He was giving them the business. And so, man, Joe E said Chiefs look better with real wide receivers than D-Hop. They have drafted wide receiver poorly.
Well, I mean, that's not fair.
Yeah,
if it was based on Sky Moore and Xavier Worthy, I mean.
Well, hold on. Come on.
I'm saying you're only basing on two guys. You can't say you drafted four. You're only basing on two guys.
Yes.
Well, when Rice.
And Rice, too. There you go. So, I mean, they can't really
Well, that's not bad. It's not really a bad draft. I mean, shoot, you hit on really kind of two. And Worthy's still developing, man. He's still developing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the narrative. And it's hard when you're picking 30th to 31st. You know what I mean? It's hard. Shoot. What you going to get? You got to get what you – like, all right, well. The Sky one, everyone just comes back to George Pickens. That's the one everyone always comes back to when it comes to Sky. Yeah. But George is a selfish player.
I think if we had like 10 spots earlier, I think we would have gone Brian Thomas. I think we would have gone him.
Oh, you're talking about this year's draft?
Yeah, this year's draft. If we had like a 10 low 20s, I think we would have gone Brian Thomas.
That Sky draft's interesting because I remember we had real interest in Sky and Christian Watson. Another guy who has not really
hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. So you hit and miss, and those are the two guys they wanted in that draft. And everyone, all Chief fans want us to go get George Pickens that draft. We let him go. And obviously, I mean, there's other issues that come with him. Yeah, plays great. There's other issues and things that come with him that our team, our locker room doesn't really need that extra stuff. So.
Also, everyone goes, if you want to go back even further, we're talking about early receivers we've taken. Everyone wants to go back to McCall Hardman and not going.
DK?
Yeah.
Yep.
We're going back a little bit on that. So.
But that was different. That was because the whole Tyreek Hill stuff had just happened, and they wanted to replace that kind of element. So you go get Mecole, and that was kind of a prisoner of the moment kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean.
And apparently that is Veach's one of his greatest mistakes that he apparently still talks about, which is interesting. Obviously, it's a gut punch to him that he didn't draft DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
But all right, Tish. So we got Week 10 bets. Take it away, brother.
Okay. First, I'm going to preface this with at the time I did this today, they didn't have any receptions listed. So I actually would go back to the Noah Gray well. Because Broncos have done an amazing job of just completely shutting down receivers. So I think we're going to have to go outside the box and throw to some other positions or number 2, 3 receivers because if Surtain blankets Hopkins, then he's going to have to throw somewhere else or force it to Hopkins. So anyway, I'll get to it. Casey under 25.5 points. So I don't want us to score less. I'm not rooting for it. The total is set to 42.5 as of the time I did the bet. I personally think the score is going to be around like 23-17, 24-17. Either of those outcomes would obviously be under 25.5 points. I just think we're not going to score above that. I think it's going to be a low scoring, ugly game. Hunt 17 plus carries. I think there's going to be a week where he sees less than this because he's been averaging like 24 or 23 since he's come back. I just don't think this is going to be that week. The fact that Vegas keeps setting it at the 17 and 19 range when he's averaging like 23 is wild, to be honest. But I think it's going to happen if we get blown out and we turn away from the run game. Other than that, if we're in the game or if we're winning the game, I think he gets 20 plus carries every week. I'm just going conservative with 17, but I would feel fine going up to 18. It just also scares me that Vegas just keeps setting this line so low. That just worries me. So I'm trying to be conservative while also taking the bet. Knicks 25 plus rush yards. So he's done this in 6 out of 9 games. I'd feel more comfortable taking his 5 to 6 carries. At the time I took this, they were not listing carries, which he's done every game this season, by the way. I still feel good about the 25 yards. He'll be looking to run. And then we have given up chunks to QBs who are capable of running. So Baker went for 20, as JD saw. Purdy went for 27. Jackson went for like $1 billion, like 122. Herbert can run, but he didn't want to run that week. He was playing injured. I don't know if you guys remember that. So anyone who could run that we played against has run, and they've either close to hit this or have hit it. I've watched Knicks play. Unfortunately, I have too many Broncos on my fantasy team. He can run. He can scoot. So he's the kind of guy, if we're getting after him and we do a good job against his number one target, he throws us Sutton like 12 times a game. If we're doing a good job blanking him, then I think he's just going to bail and run when he has to. Worthy 22 plus receiving yards. So I surprised myself doing this. This goes into what I was saying earlier about having to throw to other people. I think Hopkins is going to get the tough draw in the cornerback department. It's a little of between that and my gut. I think Worthy will draw about 5 to 6 targets because of the attention going other places. I think he needs to catch like 3 of those to get about 29 to 33 yards. So unless he catches a bomb, which he gets about 1 attempt a game, and he should have had last week's, obviously he'd hit in that case. But on just a conservative level of just catching 9 to 12 yard plays, I think he catches 3 for like 29 to 33. KC winning is the last one. It's my only real gimme here. I think we win an ugly, low-scoring game, 25 to 256.
Okay. So you have the Chiefs on at 25.5.
Hey, I'm already out.
Huh?
I was going to say, you're already out.
Absolutely. 100%. 100%.
Full.
Yeah. Look, we're going to have at least 4 touchdowns against these guys, at the least.
Okay.
Questionable. Hunt 17 plus carries. I do believe we do that. I agree with you. I don't see him slowing down any. And giving him the football this week would be the week that I'm looking for. Actually, I had him that Kareem Hunt is going to be the guy that's going to be ideal for us this week, especially running the football against this very fast, smaller defense and the defensive ends and linebackers. I don't think they do a really good job of tackling in the secondary. I don't. And so I would hand the ball off plenty of times. Kareem Hunt opens up the pass, and I think it goes into your 4th one with Worthy having 22 plus receiving yards. I think he does that. But let's go back to number 3, Knicks, 25 plus rushing yards. And I agree with you. Knicks, here's a guy that I think is better than Baker Mayfield.
Right now already?
Yeah. He's a better quarterback than Baker, no doubt.
Man.
Yeah. I do believe that. Watching him, I watched 3 games. Bo Nix is really good.
He's good. He's good. He's way better than I thought he was going to be. I'll say that.
Yeah. If he was down there at Tampa, they might be undefeated.
Oh, my gosh.
But no, I think he does have 25 plus rushing yards. He's very athletic, man. Very athletic quarterback.
Yeah, he can run.
Very surprising how athletic he really is, because he's like a dag. He takes off, makes guys miss. He's really good. So I think that does hit. This Chiefs money line, I do like that one. So I think you got to give some good ones right there, Tage. I like the ones you have out.
And you like the Worthy one?
I like the Worthy one. Yeah, 20 plus, and that's why I said the open up the pass. With the run, I think Worthy's going to be a guy that will get the ball to, especially wide receiver screens. And you get Pat time to throw the football, he's going to pick them apart. But I think you move Worthy around a little bit. Same thing with D-Hop. And that's what we do best is our matchups, depending on what they have, what they look for. Worthy's going to be the guy that's going to be able to get open. And I said McCole Hardman's going to have a good game for us too. So I do believe, like you said, the other guys out there that's going to have a good game.
Yeah.
So,
I think Gray's going to have a good game. And I think Mahomes. I would even take Mahomes carries or Mahomes yards, but again, they weren't offering carries. But I would take Mahomes carries just because.
I don't know. I don't know about that, man. Apparently, his ankle is taped up the wazoo at practice this week. I don't know about that. And last week, he only had two or three carries in the game. That was something, man.
We'll see what his carries are when they list it. If they're high, I'm taking it. If they're low, they're trying to make you take it, in my opinion.
I think it's the same as it is every week. It's 4.5. They just listed at 4.5 every week.
No, they don't always list the same exact thing every week.
It's been 4.5 for him almost every week.
Really?
Yeah, at least.
They didn't have it for me earlier, so.
Let me check real quick. I'm pretty sure it's 4.5. They did not list his carries. Okay, no, they did 3.5. So it went down one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sketchy. But again, if we win a tight game against them, we're talking 2 kneel downs.
Yeah.
So all he's got to do is run it once.
Yeah.
What do you say? How many carries are they looking for?
Over under is 3.5. So if he gets 4 carries.
You take it probably a discount.
He had 2 last week, I believe.
I think he does that. I think he'll do that this week.
Yeah,
Even with his
that adrenaline's gonna be going. Once he's in the game, man, he'll be moving around. Look, if it's between getting sacked or getting a first down, he's running for 5 yards. I mean, he's doing it.
Look, they will have him. That joker's going to be on vitamin T for the game. Okay, he's going to be on vitamin T. He'll be taped up, but he's going to be feeling fine. Believe me. And during the week, he's not running anywhere. Just trying to keep the swelling down and manage it. But Sunday, bend over. Just give you his vitamin T shot, man, and get on out there, Superman. Get on out there, Superman.
Sasha, Ravens threw on the Broncos 269 and may have exposed something in that lockdown pass. I will say I was very tempted to take Mahomes' passing yards this week, but I was kind of the same mindset with JD. Just run the ball down their throat. Their team wants a pass rush. Just run it down the throat, and you'll see what I have here in this one. All right, so Hunt over 18.5 carries. I think have 17 carries, but I don't think it matters. I think the Hunt's going to go for 20-plus carries again this week. I think our offense, they try to do what Teja was talking about dwindling his touches and carries. And look at the end of that first half, they stopped running the ball with him. And what happened? What do they do to make everything click again? First half, 8 straight carries to Kareem Hunt.
On the football, right.
Yeah,
Shoot.
8 straight of those things. And he was ready to go, too. It was like, you know what? Like, I'm going all out here. Like, they stuffed me in the first half. Second half, he was just balls to the wall, man. He looked fantastic. So over 18.5 carries, like I mentioned last week in the post game. 4 straight 20-plus carry games for Kareem Hunt. The most ever of the last time he had 4 straight plus carries, 20-plus carry games was Jamal Charles in 2009. If Kareem Hunt gets 20-plus carries this week, guys, this will be the first time the Chiefs have had a running back to have 5 20-plus yard carry, 20-plus carry games since when JD was there in 2005, where Larry Johnson had 5 straight games of 20-plus carries, which I looked at it. It was like pretty much every week he was having 20-plus, 30-plus carries. So, I mean, it wasn't much of a feat back then. But now in this day and age of football, that's pretty tough to come by. So it'd be the first time a Chiefs running back would have that since 2005 where LJ did it. So Kareem Hunt over 18.5 carries. And just looking at their games, they played against 9 teams. 3 of the running backs who have gone against them have had 20-plus carries against them. That was Kyron Williams, Derrick Henry, and Kenneth Walker. So, yeah, that's my first one. Second one, Javonte Williams over 20.5 receiving yards. So, of the 8 teams we've played, 6 of the main ball carriers of that team have had 20-plus receiving yards in those games, or over 20.5 receiving yards in those games. Yeah, so, I mean, and Javonte's done it 5 of the 9 games this year. So, Javonte's kind of been like not Darren Sproles, but they're using him out of the backfield big time. And also, too, I think this also helps with the amount of touches he's getting out of the backfield is the fact that they don't really have a tight end. Adam Trotman's like their main guy. He doesn't really get a lot of love in the passing game. So they're utilizing their tight running backs big time out of the backfield. So over 20.5 receiving yards. And, yeah, Mike Brennan, very cautious. Yeah, I was trying to go with something, but none of the numbers stuck out to me this week. I may do another one and have a fun with it and have some fun passing numbers than that. But Chiefs over 23.5 points. I'm with JD this week. I think we are going to – I don't know about 30 points, but I do think we're going to be about at 28 the number this week. But I'm playing it safe going at 23.5. Chiefs have done this 6 of the 8 games this year, scored over 23.5 points. In all the Broncos losses, in 2 of Broncos losses, they've allowed over 23.5 points this year. The next one, total points under 51.5. Every game the Broncos have lost this year, they've been under 51.5 points. And I think they're going to lose this game. So I'm just going. I went with all the games they lost. And then Chiefs, the total under 51.5 has hit 7 of 8 times this year. 7 of 8 of our games have gone under 51.5. So that's pretty much a lock, I would say. And then Broncos under 20.5 points. I think they're going to be under that big time this week. And my numbers say here, the Chiefs, 6 of our 8 opponents have had under 21 or have had under 20.5 points this year. And every game the Broncos have lost, they've had under 20.5 points. So that is why my bet, that's what I'm going with this week. Going with a very safe bet, a very accurate one, I would say. That's bet 25 smackaroos to win 187 smackaroos. So there you have it.
Pretty conservative bet.
Very
conservative, man. I hear you. You trying to win that money. See if it locks in. Hunt over 18.5 rushes. I do believe he'll be right there around that, like 18 to 20. I do believe that. So thanks, Brenda Pike. Appreciate that so much. You see, Williams over 20.5 yards reception. Okay, receiving yards. I think they'll start getting some garbage yards toward the end, trying to catch up to what we're doing. So he'll do a couple of dumps. Williams is, one of the guys that does, a lot of that. So yeah, 20.5 is not a bad one. It's not a bad right there. Chiefs over 23.5 points. I'm a big believer in that. I think, Marcus, I think I put in there, we're going to get 31 points. 31. Total points, 51.5. Woo! So I think this week, I had is at what, 52? But 51.5, I'll take that. It's not bad. It's right there on it. And then Broncos under 20.5 points. I like that bet as well. I just don't think they're prolific style offense. I just don't see it. And so the main thing is if you get a lot of pressure on Bo Nix, make him run, we do a much better job playing man against these guys, face up, one-on-one. That's what you want to do. We got lockdown corners, man. You're going to have to run through us. And Cortland Sutherland and those guys, they hate being physical up front. And that's what we're going to be. We're going to be a physical defense. And I know Spags is telling them right now, challenge everything they do when they come off the line of scrimmage. So I agree with you. So that bet is $25 to win 187. Okay.
Yeah, so very conservative bet, but I think I try to go more accurate this week, just to pinpointing some of the things I've seen. Yeah, obviously I'd love to bet Hopkins to have over 4.5 catches, and Kelsey to have a big game. But I was like, let's just go safe with this week. And I thought the Javonte Williams number where they set it at was probably the safest of all the individual props I saw.
Yeah. Newt, what's going on, Newt? Newt's been sitting on chattering away, man. Trade for a tight end who is a Cleveland Brown or a Packer from San Fran. Make a trade if you need a tight end. No more trades going out, brother. That's it. That's over. You only get a guy that, take out maybe the practice squad or something like that. But I think that's about it. That's all you can do. So, ain't no trades going on.
Mike Brennan, do you guys place the wagers now or wait until the game day to try and cash the parlay boost? I usually place them on Friday. Well, not all my bets. For the ones for the show, I'll place today just to make sure I capture that number. Like I remember a couple weeks back, if I didn't place the bet on that Friday, I think Hunt's carries went up 2 by Sunday morning. So, sometimes if you see a number you like, try and place it as fast as possible.
I wait till day of.
That sounds like Teja, guys. This guy waits till like 15 minutes before his flight takes off before getting there.
Live dangerously, baby.
My type of guy.
Live dangerously. Live Johnny dangerously.
Yeah, that's right.
Gotta run that. If you're not running on the runway, man, you ain't doing it right.
That's right, though. Jumping over it.
If you're not leaving your Uber on the ramp in traffic to run up the side of the road, you ain't living.
No. I feel like, man, the third base coach bringing them on in.
Yeah,
Come on, JD. Round it. Yeah. That's how.
If you don't go to the check-in counter and ask them if it's too late to check a bag in and get it on the flight, you're not doing it right.
You know, standing there, you're looking down there, and you're just making sure you get all your stuff, your keys and everything out, and put it in. Hey, boop, boop, get you on through. Come on. You
don't have to recheck in at the check-in gate because they might have given your seat away. You're not doing it right.
No. All right.
All these things happen, by the way, if you miss that last 40-minute threshold before your flight. They like treat you as if like you're like Indiana Jones in the cargo plane with the chickens, okay? Like,
they would know I was coming.
But you know what, though? You feel like you got it all for free, even though you already paid for it. Like, we got my seats back? All right. See? Things are looking up.
Yeah, all those suckers that have been sitting there forever. Suckers. Y'all been sitting there bored, not doing anything. You see us coming up, bringing it up the rear. Come on.
Oh, man.
Let's go.
I've had to the point where, like, they literally, one time, this is a long time ago, but they closed the door after me, man. It was like Home Alone style, okay? It was like I was there, and, like, I passed everyone in their seats already. Like, it was, I had to run. They told me, run. Great. Great experience.
It looks at you in disgust as you walk to your seat because he had to delay the party.
Yeah, that's right.
Boom. Here you come. You come around the corner like,
sorry. But you know what kills me? It's like they rush you and then you get up there and sit there for another 20 minutes while they're circling around the damn runaway. It's like, well, all this for what, dude? All this for what? Come on.
Hey, listen, I take my seat proudly. I take it proudly being late. I sit down, kick my legs up. Where's the peanuts? Give me a drink. Let's go.
Yeah. I like getting to my seat though. Once you get to your seat, I don't feel good. The whole like few days before a flight, I hate it. Getting to the airport, I hate it. Waiting for the plane, I hate it. I like it when you are like when I'm finally sitting in my seat. I'm good. There, I'm like, all right, done. I'm good now. I'm fine.
So team flights. There was always two guys at the very end. Coach Vermeil knew he had to have on the plane. There was me.
I was
Larry
going to say
Johnson. It was me or Larry Johnson. We were the last two bringing it in. So they said, "There's JD. JD's good. Is Larry here?" And then, of course, if Larry was there, like, "Where's JD here?" They already knew. So,
I bet you loved when you found out Larry Johnson was a last-minute Harry or last-minute Larry, I guess, because it took some of the heat off you. You loved it.
Yeah, of course. I'm like, yeah. Where's LJ? I'm like, I thought I seen him parking his car. He'll be here next 5 minutes.
Yeah.
The crazy part is, you had Dick Vermeil. Sometimes Carl will be sitting up there, and you come in a plane, they do like this, look at they watch, they're like, they don't even look at you. They don't say nothing. Yeah, that's the bad feeling. Like,
yeah. Because it's worse for you because you actually know the people that you're holding up and you actually like work with them. Like these randos, I mean, I'm not selfish, but I don't care that much about their time. Let's be honest. So, I mean, it's a little different, right?
Oh, yeah. But they knew, here's JD. Everybody on the plane, hey, he's here. I come in like,
that was me showing up to a high school class, man. When I came in, I got a round of applause. Oh, yeah? All right. All right. Thanks, guys. All right, you guys can begin now. I'm here.
Proceed.
Party don't start till I get there. That's more like it.
And one of my boys is in college. We had the same class. And so I would come in. I'd come in late. And I'd sit right up front in front of everybody. Like you just got this front the whole class. You gonna sit in the front seat. Like you don't even have the decency to walk to the back of the class, get in now. You gonna walk in the front of the class like, excuse me, yeah, can I sit right here? Yeah. Teacher used to look at me like, okay, good to see you, Mr. Dunn. I'm like, you too. How you doing? Let's get at it.
It's a very Dash trait, by the way.
Oh.
Being late. We've missed quite a few flights in our lives, JD. We missed we must have talked about this by now. We missed a flight to get to the destination where you board your cruise ship.
Okay.
So we had to fly to the first port. So when people were getting off to go to I think it was the Bahamas, I think it was Nassau.
Uh-huh.
People were getting off to enjoy their day. We were coming out with our bags. So everyone knew us after that. As you're the Lane family. Like, hey, that's me.
Well, we have so much in common there. That's the Dunn family. We're known for dragging at the end, but we always say we're bringing in the protection. So we make sure everybody else is on the flight or road, plane, wherever you need to be. We're making sure everybody's there first. So,
there you go.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
So JD, who do you have in this week in the of the two dashes? Which late dash are you going with this week?
So man, when I'm looking at this right here, I'm looking at Teja's Chiefs under 25.5 points. I ain't buy that.
Wait, hold on. You know what? I'm sorry. I want to ask about that. So what, you don't buy in the Broncos defense at all? Is that what it is?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Well,
I think if you protect and we do a good job, you're gonna have to do some chips. They play a very.
Do we do a good job protecting lately?
Well, I think we will.
I think you get like 5 or 6 sacks the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, I don't think they're as talented as, like, let's say the Raiders defense. You know, like pass rush. They got good pass rushers, but they're not as good as those guys. We play better defenses, I think, particularly. The thing is, if you just give Pat time to throw the football, he'll be fine. And I think you got to go into the game knowing, give these guys a couple of chips. So
they are third in the NFL in sacks.
Yeah. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. But what I seen them play when they played, same thing with the Ravens. When they played them, they protected Lamar. They protected him. And Lamar picked them apart. He just started. And once you protect them, if you protect the quarterback, they're susceptible for anything. They're not very good covering. They're linebackers, not very good covering. Okay. So Ted, you can try it if you want to, but there's some holes in that defense. There's some definite holes in that defense. And so I think it's all predicated in stopping those guys at the front, that pass rush. And so what you do, you go hit them in the mouth early and often, and then play action off of it. So you got to mix it up sometimes. First down, throw it off, a couple passes, but without a doubt, run the football. So that's what I think as far as Teja. When I'm looking at their defense, they are susceptible to getting scored on. And you got to do a mix of things, and we do a great job of it. So, yeah, that 25.5, I definitely believe we're going to score at least 4 touchdowns against these guys.
Okay.
Very least. Hunt 17-plus carries, I do believe that's going to happen. He just gets stronger the more we give him the ball. Nick's 25-plus rushing yards, I do like that. I think Bo Nix is going to try to win the game with his feet. He's going to get some yards, trying to get him going, rally him a little bit. Worthy 20-plus reception yards and receiving yards. I do believe he'll have that. So I'm looking for him to have a big game, like I said, McCall Hardman as well. Chiefs money line, beautiful. I like that one. Going to Marcus Hunter with 18.5 yards carries. I do believe he's going to be somewhere around 18 to 20. That's what he's going to be living. Williams over 20 23.5 receiving yards. Good dump off to him. I think he'll get that easily. Chiefs over 23.5 points. Like I said, they'll have 4 touchdowns. Definitely for that. Total points under 51.5. That's the one that kind of uncertainty, but I think if the defense plays well against them, I think we'll hold them under enough to be that 51.5. I think I had 52 for us. So I'll take that bet. Tampa under 25.5 points. I do believe that as well. So
I'm at Denver under the 20.5 points.
Oh, damn.
You still have Baker on the mind.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Might have to take that one too, whatever Tampa. Yeah. You know. So $25, 187, man. This week, I'm going to have to go with Marcus's very conservative bet. And only one, Teja, like I said, the only one I'm not buying is the Chiefs under 25.5 points.
What's the one you're least confident in Marcus's? Is it Williams over 20.5?
No, I think total points, I think.
No, actually, it's Hunt over 18.5 carries.
19 carries.
Yeah, I think if you don't hit that, I think Steele gets the ball a little bit. This would be a good break. P. Ryan, get a little bit of a look. So that's only one to me. And I think at some point, man, like you said, 20 plus carries, man, the past 5 games. At some point, you got to slow him down. You got to, just a little bit. But if he's eating, if he's doing damage, then feed it to him. Give him the ball. Absolutely, 100%. And so, obviously, we get into the red zone. That would be my first option is hand the ball off to him. So,
JD, what do you make of Kareem Hunt potentially doing something that hadn't been done since Larry Johnson was in Kansas City?
Yeah, he's rooting against it. That's why he bet the under.
Hey, Kareem Hunt, he's that guy. He can handle it. And so, I always trust running backs. And running backs like, hey, look, if I'm fine, give me the rock, then so be it. Larry, man, we would just, play after play after play. Should he be up here at 28, 26? That's what Larry was there to do. And so we knew it. Larry didn't really get tired of that much, man. But he was a bigger back, man, 230. Oh, my gosh. Larry was a beast, man, running that football. Absolute beast running that football. So, and plus we had that old line up, and yours truly, JD.
Yeah.
We knew what we were going to do, and they knew what we were going to do, and they still couldn't stop it. So
yeah, it was 9 straight games of that season. So if he gets 5, if he gets 5, it wouldn't be done since 2005. And I don't know. 9 straight games. I don't think he said 04 probably be. So 04 is what half a season was Priests, right? Half Priests, half LJ that year.
Yeah. And we really didn't know what. Okay, so we didn't really know what LJ was going to be, because I know Coach Emile was a little bit perturbed with LJ somewhat.
Diapers,
huh? Yeah.
Diapers.
And so Carl Peterson made sure, like, hey man, we're going to have to play this guy. He's first round pick for a reason. That's why we got him here. And sure enough, when he started running, and Coach Emile, you got to earn your playing time with him. He's just not going to give it to you. I'm sorry. That's just not how it works with him. And so that's what he challenged Larry. He used to be hard on him during practice, saying things to him in the meeting room and all those different things. And so once Larry started producing, Coach Emile loved him. Absolutely loved him. So.
Yeah. So, hopefully Kareem can match Larry Johnson prime LJ 05 days this weekend to win my bet. And also my fantasy team. And I think we have a few of our people have Kareem Hunt in their fantasy leagues. So I think the more touches he gets, I think everyone wins who has Kareem Hunt in their fantasy leagues.
Are you worried about the split eventually when Pacheco comes back? Not knowing who to start each week?
Oh, man. No. I don't think so.
No?
Well, I think, to be honest with you, it wouldn't matter who starts. I think they give both of them a good load to run the football. It'd just be a good change of pace.
Yeah, but Hunt needs a lot to produce what he's producing. I mean, he needs like 20, 25 touches a game to produce that. You give him like 12 to 14, he ain't doing what he's doing in fantasy right now. It ain't happening.
Yeah. Well, let's say you give him, let's say you give him 14 to 15 and then give Pacheco 10 until he gets back into shape. I think that's what you see for him, when it first starts out. So I don't think you come in and immediately give Pacheco like 12 to 15 carries. I don't think you do that, man. You just work him in.
Yeah. I said on our post-game show when I kind of rough, harshly, I would say, but when Pacheco comes back, I think it's no more Steele. I really don't want to see any more Steele touches. I just want to see Pacheco, Hunt, and P. Ryan. I really don't want to see Steele anymore. I don't want to see Steele that much right now. Like I said, it was a good preseason story, JD. We didn't have Kareem Hunt. I don't feel comfortable when I see Steele out there. I don't. And that 3rd-and-1 play where they gave him the ball was a 4th-and-1 when they gave Steele the ball and he got stuffed. On the game on Monday night, and I was like, okay, I don't want to see it anymore. I'm done with it.
Was that the one where the hole looked good, or he should have got it?
Yeah. It looked good for a second, and then it closed fast because he didn't, he didn't do what he was doing against the 4 stringers against Chicago Bears in the preseason game because it's a real deal on Monday night. JD, I was done with it, man. I told Tay we were on the phone during the game. I was like, dude, I can't do it anymore. I'm done with the Steele show. It's over.
Yeah. But you ain't got that same energy for Baker. That's harsh right there, Mark.
It's different. Baker's not my quarterback, JD. He's a guy I root for. He's not my QB. There you go, G-Pick. Can't trust Steele. Yeah.
Oh, G-Pick. Come on now with that, G-Pick. Why you say that? Oh, Richie Hall said, or developing. He's developing. Yes, he is. And he's still getting better. Look, I think he's a solid guy.
JD's taking Steele's over this week, sounds like.
What's his over?
No, I don't know. I can look. Actually, you know what? Let me look at that.
I doubt they're even showing. I doubt they even have that. They don't even have P. Ryan up there.
They don't have it. But let me look at his rushing yards, maybe. Maybe they have that.
But, Jay, you think –
they don't.
You think when Pacheco gets back, you think we'll still see Steele in there? I mean, I just thought they were using P. Ryan enough, to be quite honest. I just thought they were using him enough. And I think when he gets back, you have 4 guys. I think Steele's the one that just loses all the touches, and it goes. The extra one would go to P. Ryan. That's my opinion.
Yeah, it could be. But that might just sneak him in Steele. Steele.
That's good. I like that pun.
I can see because Hunt they really haven't used in the passing game a lot. So I don't think they want Pacheco to get wrecked wherever he comes back in, putting him between the tackles again. So I can see Hunt getting like 14 or 12 to 14 carries, and then Pacheco getting like 8 carries and 6 to 8 carries and a lot of the pass down work. I could see that. But P. Ryan looks good in pass down work. He does.
Great. Looks great. He's a guy. He's, I mean, obviously, when he came in, he was the guy to replace Jet. I think that's what they were thinking the whole time. Like, well, we're not going to bring him back because we got P. Ryan to do what Jet could do. And he's produced catching footballs, man. P. Ryan's a good player. He's a solid guy.
Yeah.
So.
But all right, everybody. We hope everybody enjoyed the show. We're almost at 2 hours here. We're almost at a 2-episode, two feature-length episodes here in this.
I mean, between Baker talk, between bar talk, you got a lot of bonuses.
Story time right there, baby. You sit back with popcorn and watch this one. Have a good time talking about it, and then that's why I love everybody engaging and talking while we out here too. So I appreciate y'all still sticking with us, being out here. While we run our mouth. But hey man, it's a good time for us, so we enjoy it.
For sure.
Yeah.
So Sunday, obviously post game show. It's on Bleacher Report, and I think it's our first 1:00 game of the year, if I'm not mistaken. First 1:00 game. We're in week 10 right now, which is kind of wild.
Really? I don't remember. That one early in the season.
Did we have a post game show?
think we had
Yeah,
one.
I think we did either like season weeks 1 to 3. I think we had one.
Mhm.
So not first game of the season, week 2 maybe week 2.
Could have been week 2.
But yeah, regardless, it is one of the first 1 o'clock games we've had. It's not the first. So our post game show will be at around 4 o'clock right after the game Sunday. It'll be on Bleacher Report, and if you guys aren't there at the time of the Bleacher Report, it'll be on YouTube after that, shortly thereafter. So you guys can definitely check it out afterwards. But we appreciate everybody joining us on this lovely Friday evening, and it's always a great time spending our Friday nights with you guys.
Absolutely.
Yep, definitely. Appreciate it. Greg Rose, Mike Brennan, Newt Rockney. Good seeing you, Newt. Okay. Louis Rezamin. What is that guy doing? What the LRZ doing right now? Huh?
I don't
I
know.
don't know. Marcus, you tell us, man.
I have I haven't been keeping up with LRZ since he left our squad. Yeah.
Should have stayed, Newt. Joker should have stayed, man. He had a plus here. He would have been all over the place. We'd have been throwing him out there with everybody else, man. So should have stayed. Get it. It's all right. Maybe next time. Practice squad. Well, hey. Well, I don't know what to say. I don't know, selling shirts. Hey, he ain't selling shirts. They ain't selling a whole lot of anything right now. So appreciate it, Brenda Pike, Witchy Hall, G-Pick Sasha, Newt, like I said, Mike Brennan, Greg Rose, Neff, good seeing you, like always. Appreciate everybody. Who's this? Sparkle Sports Card. Okay. Chiefs 31, Broncos 20. I like that one. Let me see. Brenda Pike, appreciate the contribution. Everybody else's contribution that y'all gave, throwing to us. We appreciate it. Hey, listen, y'all take care. Have a good time this weekend. Sunday, we're getting it rocking. Getting those Broncos, man, those donkeys. And I cannot wait. Man. So, Dash Brothers, appreciate y'all, man. Good bets today. Good bets. So, go out there and get y'all money. Okay?
That's right.
Yeah, I think they got you. I think y'all got them covered this week. I think so. Yeah. Kevin Mars, John Clifford, Maximo 01001. Appreciate it. Yeah. Other than that, man, love you guys. We'll see you.
Love you too, brother.
Love y'all, man. See you on Sunday.
See you Sunday, everybody. Sunday, baby.
Later.
Love you guys.
Love you. We'll see you.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.